A very good afternoon. You're watching Lunchtime News on TV1. I'm Michaela Fernando. Before we head into more news in detail, here's a look at headlines.
President recommends Yasantha Kodagoda to be appointed as Supreme Court judge. Indonesian national who was admitted from the Lion Air plane diagnosed with influenza. After months of investigations, Trump impeachment trial opens. 2020 Under-19 Cricket World Cup commences today.
In your top story, the President had directed a recommendation to the Constitutional Council to appoint Court of Appeal President Yasantha Kodagoda to the Supreme Court. The President had made the recommendation following the post left vacant at the Supreme Court following the passing of Supreme Court Justice the late Prasanna Jayawardena. Moving on to some tragic news, one Sri Lankan woman was among the 6 people who died in a motor accident in Abu Dhabi yesterday. The Sri Lankan Foreign Ministry said the tragedy was the result of a road accident between a bus and a lorry in Abu Dhabi. According to Abu Dhabi police, the accident happened on the Al Raha Beach Road on the outskirts of the capital heading towards Dubai and was a result of careless driving. In more local news, it has been confirmed that the passenger on board the Lion Air aircraft who was receiving treatment at the ICU of the National Infectious Diseases Hospital unit was diagnosed with influenza. The director of the hospital, Dr. Hasitha Attanayaka, said this has been confirmed through medical examinations conducted by the Medical Research Institute in Borella. The director added the patient currently receiving treatment is recovering. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Ministry of Foreign Affairs said the remains of the 2 deceased individuals who died on board the plane have been sent to Indonesia. A Lion Air flight JT-85 made an emergency landing early morning on the 13th of this month after the BIA control tower was informed that 2 patients who were on board were not well. However, the police said at the time the plane landed, the 2 individuals had passed away. The deceased are 2 Indonesian nationals. Let's now take a look at news from the stock exchange.
As at 11:15 this morning, the all-share price index of the Colombo Stock Exchange traded 0.16% weaker at 5,932.26. S&P SL20 traded at 2,802.01 with 5.21 basis points down, showing a decline of 0.19%. Market analysts say that the market is clearly looking for direction and the upcoming general election can be the trigger point as at now. The exchange rates today were as follows. US dollars were buying at 179 rupees and 59 cents and it was selling at 183 rupees and 26 cents. Sterling pounds were buying at 233 rupees and 13 cents while it was selling at 240 rupees and 38 cents. Euros were buying at 198 rupees and 99 cents while it was selling at 205 rupees and 78 cents.
Still in local news, JVP Politburo member KD Lalkantha expressed the following views at a public rally in Harwispathuwa in Kandy yesterday.
We believe Gotabaya Rajapaksa will not be able to gain a 2/3 majority even if he asks. Based on the current situation, they should be able to form a government. Although they don't get a 2/3 majority like what happened in the past, they will get a 2/3 majority by buying the opposition MPs. That is how the majority was formed, and we believe that will happen again in the future. So when Gotabaya Rajapaksa takes over the power and to operate a strong parliament, a strong opposition is important. So in order to establish a powerful opposition, join hands with JVP and National People Movement during the upcoming parliamentary elections.
Meanwhile, an event to distribute land deeds was held in Matale yesterday under the auspices of Minister Janaka Bandara Tennakun.
State employees must give prominence to public service. If they are logged on to Facebook or using their mobile phones while working, that is considered as absconding from their duties. If such practice continue, we will be compelled to impose rules and regulations in this regard. So we urge all state sector employees to be honest and utilize their time for public service.
තමුන්ගේ සම්පූර්ණ කාලය වැය කරලා අවංක මහජන සේවකයෙක් වෙන්න කි.
Minister of Industries and Supply Chain Management Vimal Weerawansa engaged in an observational tour of the Mineral Sand Limited organization in Palmuday yesterday. We are engaged in this observational tour as part of our strategy to resume operations in currently inactive state-owned production facilities in the northern east and to provide the private sector with opportunities to open factories. We hope to provide opportunities to businessmen to open factories and to provide jobs to locals in the area. In more local news, the award ceremony for the island-wide social dialogue competitions was held yesterday.
The event was held under the auspices of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Dinesh Gunawardena. As outlined by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa in his policy statement, state corporations and private companies should embark on a unique program. Our challenge today is to increase production and manufacturing activities in Sri Lanka. We can solve the prevailing economic issues if we achieve this target. Our GDP growth remains very low. We must improve this. It has been proved that innovation and improvement is not only limited to owners of companies, but can also be achieved through its employees.
In sports news, the 2020 Under-19 Cricket World Cup commences today.
The tournament will feature 48 matches and will conclude on the 9th of February. Sri Lanka will contest under Group A along with India, New Zealand and Japan. Nipun Dhananjaya will lead Sri Lanka in this year's competition. Sri Lanka will take on India in the first match of the campaign on Sunday. The first match of the tournament is set to take place between South Africa and Afghanistan today.
And that is a wrap of Lunchtime News. For all these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. Have a good day.